Hello, thanks so much for plugging in on Charlie and I channel 7. And the 7 today I have a message for you about this coming year. Thank you for plugging in. Make sure you watch until the end and share this message with at least one other person. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and we look forward to connecting with you again. Humans, as you begin this new year, you are graced with an incredible flow of energy pouring forth from different parts of the cosmos. And your inner being is fully plugged into these energies. Your inner being is in a constant state of flow, open to experiencing, discovering, expanding, and ascending. When you first arrive on this planet as pure energy, fully connected to Source and your inner being, you are completely plugged in and tuned up. And there is such a sense of ease about your experience. And so many of you get trained outside of this attunement. And so every time that you begin a new year, for so many of you there is a sense of anticipation and positive expectancy, a state of, ooh, what's next? Not for all, but for many of you. And at some point early on in the year, you noticed that this energy begins to fizzle off because maybe the things that you were wanting or the things that you set forth, they didn't quite work out as you wanted to. And this feeling does not come because you didn't really get what you wanted. It truly comes because you are not really maintaining this connection with your inner being. You're not really maintaining this state of flow. Instead of your attention in this state of flow and well-being, your attention was in the things out there. All right? You were more busy noticing what is out there and that it's not there, instead of really connected to your inner being, instead of really feeling this state of flow and abundance that is always pouring forth towards you. All right? And so this is what we want you to really get connected to. Because right now on planet Earth, as these energies pour forth, there's also a lot of distraction pulling at your attention. All right? For so many of you. Some of this is masked as spiritual guidance. Some of it is masked as news. Some of it is masked as something that you must do in order to get to this next level, whatever that is for you. See, when you ascend, you are uplifting to a next level, to a next dimension. However, for so many humans, it becomes a sort of egoic desire of wanting to get to this next place because so many humans do not feel full wherever they are. So in order to feel this sense of flow, in order to truly ascend, you must first and foremost embrace where you already are and celebrate where you are. All right? Now, some humans say, well, how can I celebrate the misery that I'm in? All right? And the truth is that when you begin to really connect to your inner being, when you truly are connected to Source, you are noticing so much well-being. And your perspective begins to shift and you really can sense, oh wow, what I imagine to be misery, what I imagine to be a suffering, really what it is simply the resistance, this mental, emotional resistance. And as you begin to soften that up, and the way in which you soften that up, well, we've shared that way with you so many times, but the way in which you really soften that up is by aligning to source, is by being in a state of appreciation. It is by waking up every day, not noticing what I have to do, what I must do to get to this place or that place, but truly appreciating who you are, what you are, and wherever you are. Because it is that state that aligns you with the energies pouring forth on this planet that truly aid those who are ready to ascend. It is that simple. It is that simple. See, we speak about this and the simplicity of it. And yet so many humans say, it's too simple. How can it be so simple? It's too simple, 7. It's got to be more complicated than that. Let me crack open a book and read about something. Let me learn about something new. And we say, you can do that, all right, as long as you are in a state of alignment, as long as you are in a state of flow. But the moment that you are noticing resistance. And so we've been having this conversation with Charlie because she's noticing within herself a desire to learn about some new things in her experience. But she's noticing that the more that she's learning, the more that she's sort of getting more caught up in her mind instead of allowing her inner being to come forth and to align with this inner being and to be in a state of flow with this inner being, all right? And she notices that whenever she eases up this resistance, she finds herself sort of back on track. And she's able to move much quicker. She's able to be much more in a state of flow. And so we want to offer for you the same invitation. An invitation to be much more attuned to your inner being in this state of flow, instead of all the myriad of distractions pulling at your attention. All right? Because so many humans say, well, if I don't pay attention to that, then, well, I might get in trouble because this is what these humans are doing, and what they're doing might cause me a lot of trouble, and I better pay attention. And the truth is, you better pay attention, but what is it that you are paying attention to? Are you paying attention to them, or are you truly paying attention to your alignment and your state of flow? Because it is that state of flow that allows you to remain sharp, to remain and to ascend to a next level of receptivity, to a next level of response. All right? Because if you are sensing yourself boggled up and boggled down by your to-do lists and your New Year's resolutions, what you'll notice is that your heart begins to stiffen up a little bit, because your heart is a good indicator of how much you are in alignment with your inner being and how much you are not in alignment with it. And the way in which the heart communicates with you is through the feelings and the thoughts, all right? And so if you are noticing that your thoughts are becoming tangled up, if you are noticing that your body is tensing up and you are noticing a lot of resistance and the feelings that are coming through, then you are noticing that you are out of alignment with your inner being. And there will be plenty of excuses for you to notice, to say, well, that is why I'm paying attention to this, because this is what's happening in the world. That is why I'm paying attention to that, because that's what's happening in the world. If I don't pay attention to those things, well, something bad will happen. All right? Do you understand this cycle? You understand this conversation that so many humans will have with themselves? And so many humans will say, well, it's not my fault. This is what's actually happening. We say, do not pay attention to what is happening out there. Begin to notice where you are and where you'd like to be. And if your true intention is to be in a state of alignment, if your true intention is to truly uplift, and you maintain that intention every single day and every single morning and every single evening, your inner being will be there guiding you. See, your inner being is fully aligned with this flow of energy coming forth into planet Earth right now. And there's incredible energy coming forth, right? And some of you are plugging into it, and you're sort of zooming along, feeling that state of excitement and fun and expansion of your own hearts. And if at any point you are sort of stumbling off, it is because you are letting go of this connection. But this connection is the most important thing in your life all of the time. Now, other humans will not tell you this, all right? It's quite the opposite. So many humans will not tell you to be connected to this part of you because they'll say, well, that's kind of selfish. How could you be feeling so good? How could you be surrounded by so much abundance if there's all these things happening in the world out there? You are so irresponsible. But the truth is, when you are really aligned and attuned with this inner being, all the things that you are wanting will be attracted to you with greater ease. And so when you meet them, the connection, whether it is with a soulmate, or money, or a business, or a family, or an adventure, or more fun, whatever it is that you are wanting to bring forth, when you are in this state of flow, you are sort of just prancing along, and what you are wanting comes to you, and you come together, and the energy magnifies. But here's what so many humans do. They say, I want this thing. I really want it. I want it so badly. But it's not here. Where is it? Oh no, I must be doing something wrong. What is it that I'm doing wrong? Oh my goodness, I'm doing so many things wrong because your mind, the ego mind, will give you so many reasons for things that you are doing wrong, because this is how most humans are trained. From a young age, so many humans are told what to do and what not to do. And oftentimes that training is in opposition to the flow of their inner being. And that is why when we come forth, this is the greatest message that we want you to pay attention to. This is it. It is that simple. Because when you are in this state of flow and you practice it, and when you practice it, it becomes easier. And the easier that it becomes, the more and more that you begin to feel it in your full being, in every cell of your being. And that is when you begin to feel this transformation. You call it a DNA upgrade, all right? And what we really call it is your ascension, your upliftment. And it begins to shift and change completely your physical body. And it begins to shift and change completely your physical circumstances, because your vibration shifts. And as your vibration shifts, the components of all your physical body begins to change. You know, so many humans have noticed as they begin to do this work, this real work, they begin to notice that the chemistry of their body begins to change. They've even measured the chemistry of their body, and they say, I cannot believe it, where I was and where I am now. So what we are meaning to say to you, that this is not just some ethereal idea. It is the most practical thing that you could be doing. All right? It is the most practical thing that you could be doing. We've shared some different processes with you, and we invite you to begin practicing what we share with you. And it does not have to be some grand project that you take on in this new year. It can begin right here, right now, in this very moment. Take a few moments to really plug in to your inner being. Maybe you won't even know what this inner being is, what it sounds like. Maybe you've heard it at some point, but you know it is there because you feel much more fun, much more loose and free. And all those things that have bothered you begin to shed off like old skin. And that is what is awaiting you as you connect to your inner being. Because that is what matters right now as these incredible energies pour forth on planet Earth. The only way to access them is not through your hard effort. It is through plugging in to Source, plugging into that inner being, and allowing these energies to come forth and to do their magic on you And you'll feel it. So many of you will feel it as you begin to embody it. You won't just feel it in the first 30 days, you'll begin to feel it little by little, all of the time. And next thing you know, others will come around you and say, how do you do it? Can I learn from you? And you say, you know what? I don't know if I can teach you by my words, but you can be a witness of this energy because it's not really me. It's not really me. It's this energy coming forth, and what it is you plugging into source and trusting in that connection. So that is what we want you to pay attention to, because there's a lot of information pouring in asking you to pay attention to this and that. And all it is, it's a distraction, and this distraction just completely siphons off that pure energy coming forth. Instead, build that energy up, multiply it. Multiply it so much that it keeps fueling and fueling and fueling and fueling. And that is the manifesting energy that brings about for you anything that you have ever wanted. Physical and non-physical. Alright? Because you are in a vibrational environment. So many humans forget that. They think, if I just approach this physically, well, there's many physical things that you can do to improve your non-physical connection, your vibration. But there's a lot of things that you can do by simply being who you are, where you are, right there, right now. And so to close this off, here's what we'd like to say to you, is that as you are coming in contact with the world around you, do not take things so personally. Because everyone is having their own experience, the best of their ability. What to do instead is to begin to pay attention to your connection. And if you are feeling connected, you'll notice that what others say, even if it feels like it is an attack on you, it really is not. It is them expressing their vibration. And as you become more and more attentive of your vibration and your connection, as your vibration rises, you'll be so fully attuned to source that you'll begin to see what is for what it is, and not for what the ego mind wants you to pay attention to. And the more and more that you practice this, you'll find a greater ease of experience, a greater ease of unfolding of your life here on this planet. Because life here on this planet is meant to be fun and joyful and playful and exciting and adventurous and curious and explorative, no matter what the conditions are. No matter what the conditions are, you are blessed. Enjoy your experience. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this message and you'd like to watch more, make sure you're subscribed and click the following videos where you'll watch more and more messages from Seven. And make sure to share these messages with others because they can be incredibly transformative.